So over the past week or so, we've been talking a lot about the new Stellar Blade, the Stellar Blade Blood Rain. Obviously, it's caught a lot of people's attention over the past couple of days or so, especially with their announcements over at the Summer Games Fest, I think it was. So again, of course, I'm very excited to see that game come out. But of course, there was a lot of controversy, as you guys probably know, surrounding Eevee. Some people saying that she looked too young. Some people even going as far as saying that she looked like a child and that you were a PDF if you liked that. Which again, I think is absolutely insane, especially whenever you look at some of the kind of details and stuff of the character. You can see this very adult looking, person. So again, absolutely insane. Obviously, a lot of people have been arguing things and have been talking about, like, for example, like Asian, like women and, how it kind of relates to them and all of this kind of stuff. But of course, there's been many people that have also been hating on the game and, kind of just going after it and trying to spread as much negativity as they can. But of course, the Shift Up CEO, the creator of Stellar Blade Blood Rain, has of course responded to a lot of this by saying things like Shift Up CEO Kim Hyung Tae says that Eevee in Stellar Blade Blood Rain is younger and smaller than Eve, but she has a stronger personality. And obviously, yeah, they essentially say the fact that, hey, although Eevee is a lot younger, or I say a lot younger, is younger than Eve, the original character here, she definitely has a lot more personality and much more of like a character to her, which is obviously going to keep you much more engaged with the story, engaged with the character. And honestly, I'm very excited to see what that can kind of bring. So again, that's the part that they want people to focus on, is the fact that she has a much stronger sense of personality than the previous character, right? Now, of course, as well, there's been this thing that has popped up that which I saw, which essentially is a marketing analytics. It's pretty much to kind of say which game did the best, or which is like the best performing game after the Summer Games Fest. And of course, it is pretty interesting, right? Because this is what they ranked. This is Level Up Marketing Analytics for the gaming industry. And to be honest, I don't really know how accurate this is, right? Because you can see here the number one in terms of the most covered. They say every game scored across trailer performance, press coverage, and community engagement, then merged into a simple comparative index. So essentially games that are being talked about the most, right? That are being interacted with the most. You can see here the God of War Laufey has actually been very, very popular. And again, I think that is 100% fair enough, right? Although, you might not like the game's designs or whatever, I think that it did get talked about a lot. Whether it was negatively or positively, it did get talked about a lot. It was a huge conversation. The same with Zelda. Zelda's a pretty big game. It's fair enough. Resident Evil Veronica, I forgot that even came out, or that they even announced that, I'm going to be honest. Wolverine, and then obviously Gears of War E-Day, Kingdom Hearts 4, Persona 6, there's FF7 Revelation, Spyro, and then below, underneath me is Until Dawn, which is at number 10, right? Now, obviously, as you guys can see, there is no Stellar Blade there. But the thing is, right, in terms of popularity, and as they say within this image, right, it's based on, press coverage, trailer performance, and also community engagement. And if we're, engaging in this, if we're counting community engagement and counting all of this stuff, right, surely Stellar Blade should be somewhere on here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be number one. I'm not saying like it's like the most popular game of all time and everybody's going to pay attention to it, but it does feel a little bit, rigged, in the sense of, I feel like a lot more people will talk about Stellar Blade, the new one, than Until Dawn 2. Sure, there's probably some people that are very happy about Until Dawn 2 or whatever, and the same with Spyro as well. Spyro, a great game, but again, if you think about all of the controversy and stuff that's been going on over the past week or so, it's been extremely talked about. This has been a heavily covered topic, and it's been extremely popular with people in the just like, general gaming space. And somehow it hasn't managed to hit top 10 in terms of some of the most covered, the most talked about, the most engaged, trailer performance. The trailer did pretty well as well, I remember. So why isn't Stellar Blade anywhere on here? And maybe there is some kind of, affiliation or whatever that they need to kind of pander to, right? And they say sponsored message. So apparently, it's a sponsored message. I don't know if this just means it's a sponsored message for the article, rather than it's like a full-on sponsored thing. I'm not sure. So it's always like this. Like, I mean, seriously, Gears of War E-Day, and Resident Evil Veronica. When for that we only got a small cinematic trailer. So summer games is just propaganda at the core. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have not been happy with that one, which I think is fair enough, right? Of course, it keeps on going, saying, I guess they count bad and good engagement online. So look at the parameters at the bottom of the graphic. According to KPIs, it's probably accurate. Which obviously you can see there. It does say every game scored by trailer performance, press coverage, and community engagement. But they do say community engagement, right? Then then merge into a single comparative index. Which obviously, yeah, they say according to those KPIs is probably accurate, which I don't know, right? It's saying it's not looking good for FF7 Revelation when the Persona 6 teaser pulls more views. Saying God of War Lave was definitely the most talked about, but not in a good way, which 100% is true. So Spyro is more relevant. And yeah, this is what people are talking about, right? Because even if you ignore the Stellar Blade stuff that is going on, you can see here, PlayStation trailer, 7.4 million views 9 days ago. In a Spyro trailer, 16 million views 4 days ago. So again, of course, it just seems pretty inaccurate because, by that metric and by everything that's going on here, well, Spyro should be well further up this list than God of War, right? Like, I don't know. It's interesting because there must have been some crazy community engagement or something that has kind of drawn this the other way or whatever. But yeah, people saying, well, it did have a lot of traction online. Not good traction, but I guess they're going along with all publicity is good publicity take. Every time these so-called industry experts, my sources, I made it up, which, yeah, is true. Just have to wait until and see how well each game does in terms of sales. But I think we already know the answer. So what is this? The top spots is either Resident Evil Veronica or Stellar Blade Blood Rain. Who in the fuck are these industry experts? Which, yeah, is true. So yeah, obviously a lot of people are very confused because, yeah, you can see here Spyro has way more views than the God of War trailer, but somehow Spyro ends up in 9th place and God of War ends up in 1st place. It's just so confusing, right? So again, I don't know. It just seems like there's something wrong with this chart. I don't think they've done it correctly. And if they have done everything correctly and maybe like they've compared it to the right things, I don't think they're comparing the right things. I think it's a very poor, look at how exactly these are all laid out and how well these are performing in regards to like kind of trailers and community engagement and all of this kind of stuff. Because, as you can see from those views, as we can see from those comparisons, it just doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. So, yeah, I just hope, it is better next time. It probably won't be. But yeah, many people are not so happy about that. And of course, I do think Stellar Blade, as I said, does deserve to be in there. I think it has had a lot of community engagement. Obviously, people talked about the fact that maybe it's only positive engagement that they count. But I think all engagement should count. I don't know why only positive should count because, again, they've been extremely popular, regardless of the, negative engagement. And there's been a lot of positive engagement, to be fair, as well for Stellar Blade, right? There has been a lot of positive engagement, regardless of a lot of the negative stuff that's been going around, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.